I thought this would be quicker here. Let's see what we got. Oh. All right, here's what we're looking at. Looks like the north part of Tampa. You can definitely see where that inflow notch is. Um, I I looked at some dual paw products. Might have been a little bit of debris with that. I'm not really sure. But JD, do you have any information to relay, or could you go to CC for me, 0.5? Okay. I finally have a desktop screen on there. Okay, yeah. You can definitely tell that's fairly close to the radar site. Yeah, I mean, if anything, that is probably a little bit of clutter. I mean, near the ground, you definitely have a lot of solid objects. There could be birds or whatever. I mean, some of that could be debris, but I mean, some of that could be clutter on the radar there. But you can definitely tell as that circulation moved ashore, definitely it produced a wide visible area of debris. I mean, I still have to see what spotters have reported. Okay, excuse my PC. It's doing a lot. I'm actually going in from my phone. I have a better connection on this one. It's a dinosaur. It's like Core 2 Duo, so it's totally 10 years ago stuff. But yeah, I mean, what you're seeing there, I mean, there's an area. I mean, there's a little bit of clutter of solid objects near the ground, and you can definitely tell where there's a little bit of shear with that. Okay, I have my GR level 3. It's programmed to open on its own, but and there's a lot of files, and who knows, this hard drive is pretty old on this machine. So finally, we got a new desktop background. Yeah, you can definitely tell where there's been a lot of height falls with this disturbance overall. I mean, definitely look at Pennsylvania and New York. I mean, it's probably a tad bit northern adjustment to that. I mean, I've looked at model trends, several, a lot of this incoming guidance over the past couple of days, and I mean, some I've seen guidance to suggest some snowfall rates could exceed 2 inches an hour in some areas. I mean, there's a lot of banding, and if there's slower movements of these bands and more cumulative, uh, you know, height falls and all this moisture that's on the back end, I mean, that's definitely something we're going to have to be cognizant of. Um, I mean, that's gonna affect how much snow falls in that particular area. But I mean, definitely look at as that low has trailed the east coast. That's leaving a lot of warmer air and a lot of moisture on the back end. So yeah, you can definitely tell as that area of shear moved ashore there north of Tampa Bay, and that looks like interstate. I can't tell the interstate highway that's on there. I yeah, my PC's still acting a little slow here, so I'm getting a lot of pop-ups. Um, then my GR level 3 should pop up here in a minute. There we go. KILX. Hopefully I won't get the stopped working thing. But yeah, you can definitely tell that area of shear is approaching whatever that town name is, Park. And again, this is Hillsborough County in Florida. And obviously, we've had now looks like the updated warning information suggests that a tornado might, there's still a little bit of clutter on correlation coefficient, but nothing to suggest that this particular system's still on the ground. But if you will allow me, I'm going to enable my camera, and I'm actually going to go solo layout here for a minute. And hold on one second. I got to try and I'm going to try and get the back side of my camera. 1 second. So camera, we're actually going to try the back camera here. Kind of get guidance on here. Oops, changed back for some reason. I'm going to try and turn my camera around here because it doesn't want me to. All right, it's trying. There we go. Okay. All right, now that we have some data, I can show you my desktop PC here. We've been tracking this particular area right here. Looks like that's where we have a little bit of an updraft there. We got some spotters on the network there. We can definitely tell. I'm going to take a look at the barometric pressure here at the Tampa Executive Airport. I mean, this is a fairly populated area. I mean, just north of Tampa there, you can see Tampa Bay. That's Ruskin. Yeah, I mean, just north of Tampa along I-4. Yeah, that's Interstate 4, and that's I-275. We can definitely tell that there's a area to watch right around there. And yeah, it looks like the tornado warning has been dropped. But I'm going to go ahead and overview. What we've had going on here. Just overview some earlier scans there. You can definitely tell that it looks like the moisture and everything fell apart with this. Definitely tell that we had a fairly strong updraft within this area. Still some special marine headlines that were previously noted. Looks like this water spout moved ashore along Interstate 4. Oh yeah, that's Tampa Bay right there. I think that's a bridge, if I'm correct. Yeah, that's correct. That's the headlines we were seeing earlier. And I'm going to go ahead and again, this is an overview, not what we have going on right now. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and see if we have some dual polarization data on here. It's going to take a while for me to retrieve all this. But oh yeah, that's VCP. Okay, yeah, that's the echo tops. You can definitely tell this was fairly low topped, and you can see where that very strong updraft was right around there. I mean, as this has moved ashore, and storm relative velocity, I don't have any inspector tool on here, but I mean, you can definitely tell where there's quite a bit of coupling with this shear here. So I mean, at least 30 knot at the base. And with those height falls, we definitely had what looks like a rear flank that might have developed with that. And I'm just going to go back to single pane here and just pay attention to this dual pulse scan. It's going to take a while for me to retrieve all that, but as you can see right over Tampa, you can definitely tell there was quite a bit of debris. This is radar confirmed as this has moved ashore. I'm going to pay attention to these past few scans. Oh, wait a minute. You know what this could be as well? It could be solid objects being lofted up, but there's a lot of tall buildings. This is like downtown Tampa, and that might be why we're getting these lower colors, JD, because there's tall buildings, and at the lowest degree the radar can depict right there. I mean, you're probably getting some refraction there from the buildings. The beams are bouncing back, and that's why we're getting these darker returns there. And there could be, there could be debris with this as well. I'm going to pay attention to these past couple of scans there. Oh yeah, right there. That's what I'm paying attention to. These scans where we have some height falls. Still some stuff being lofted, but I'm going to go ahead and go back to reflectivity. But either way, there was something that suggested we did get something on the ground. I'm going to see what the official spotter reports were from the Ruskin Weather Service, what we had going on in there. But yeah, I mean, definitely as that line continues to push through. Looks like storms are on a weakening trend. Looks like the worst of the downdrafts are occurring now. Maybe some gusty winds, heavy rain with these showers and storms. But I'm going to be paying attention to a more broad scale disturbance for sure. But I mean, I'm going to see if we have any additional information to pass along. And I might have to exit somehow the streaming window. Okay. I'm going to add you back in, forecaster JD.
All
Oh,
right.
excuse me. Sorry,
Didn't
we
see any
lost you for
warnings.
what?
See any more thunderstorm warnings or tornado warnings today?
Okay, looks like the tornado warning has expired. The main concern as that system continues to push through Temple Terrace and Thanastasa area, north of Sefner. I'm going to pay attention to this updraft, but looks like the storm has receded. It's in more stable air. We got a little bit of a downdraft there. Probably still some heavy rain with that, but doesn't appear to be tornadic the way it looks right now. I mean, there's that red against green, but the shear is probably below 20 knots. It's nothing that screams that anything's still tornadic by the way things are looking, but still definitely heavy rain, gusty winds for sure. And I'm still not getting any. My browser's not opening here for some reason, but I mean, just broad scale, you can definitely tell there's a lot to be concerned about on the synoptic scale here. You can definitely tell up towards Virginia, the eastern slopes of the Appalachians, up towards the Alleghenies. See, we're getting, yeah, I mean, we have 3/10 of an inch of sleet that is accumulated in some areas along I-81. This is all part of an area where we have some of that warmer air that's being left behind, that surface low. It's and then there's a little bit further and near the surface. This is where the temperatures are cooler. So we have reports of freezing rain and sleet that is accumulating along here. And definitely you can see the cooler dynamics closer to where that surface low is. See, we're already getting reports of 6 inches in some areas. We had a report of 9 inches of snow.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, this was not even an hour ago in Hardy County, West Virginia there. So, I mean, you can definitely tell that we do have some of those heavier snowfall rates pushing through Virginia now into Pennsylvania. We have 3 to 4 inches on the ground now. I think this is where we have some heavier snow bands. I still have to retrieve some of the radar data on this here, but
Since we've
by
been
the way
having
things are looking, we do have a snow band that is pushing through Maryland into southern Pennsylvania here. So, I mean, still more snowfall. It's on the way. This is more light snow around here. This is more moderate, maybe heavier snowfall rates within this band here. So, I'm going to look at, so trying to, I have to click this little T button here to show to depict the precipitation type. There we go. See, we can definitely tell that the warmer air that's in place over here, the winds are out. The winds are coming from the warmer ocean here. I mean, the Atlantic is giving us some of that warmer air at the ground there.
there's been
So
ice reports too,
closer to the
Isaac.
surface low. What?
There's been ice reports too over here too.
Yes, that's what I'm getting to here. But you can definitely tell as we get towards areas that are we have some higher terrain. Obviously, this is the coastal areas. This is where we have still some warm air that's there's an inversion layer that's above the ground, and we can definitely tell some heavy, moderate to heavy freezing rain as well. So I mean. This is where the temperatures are right at or a little ways below freezing. I mean, this is
My
where we
question
have
about
warmer air that's aloft. So that's why we have 32 degrees. I mean, see, look out, 32 over here and 36. So, I mean, the dynamics, the temperatures are rapidly uh, dropping just in terms of your location. And I'm going to go ahead and put this in a loop here. So, I mean, you could definitely see Washington, D.C. For example, this is the Sterling,
any roads
Virginia
closed?
radar site. But yeah, you can see how rapidly the temperatures do appear to be falling. So, I mean, some areas that have been seeing warmer air and light rain looks like with the temperatures that are falling, not only are you seeing a quick change over to freezing rain, some of that those wet roadways will probably you may see some slippery conditions, maybe some icing up. Especially northwest of Washington D.C. along I 270,
Any power
I
outages?
70. I'll retrieve some data from PowerOutage.us while I have some data on here.
All right, I'm just going to give you one report here that came in. ICE reported on cross of ICE reported LOUIS.
Yeah, so JD, I mean, pay attention to your internet connection, your upload speeds. I mean, this is why I use Ethernet on my router. So I mean, this is how my streaming quality works better. But I mean, I know you're doing great. So I mean, I'm looking at PowerOutage.us here. This is a website that I use, and JD's retrieving some radar data in the meantime. So looks like we have 21,000 people without power in Virginia,
Goodness.
370 in Maryland, 1,000 plus people in Pennsylvania. That number will probably be a bit higher. I mean, but we have 10 million people without power as well in Florida. This is probably in response to the storms that have pushed through earlier. And I'm gonna see where the worst of this is. Probably. Oh, okay. So looks like the worst of this is in Pinellas County, if I'm reading that right. Yeah, about 14,000 without power there. Hillsborough County. Yeah, it looks like I'm not seeing as much data that's being retrieved on this, but I mean, most of these outages probably
All right,
either
Isaac, I hate to interrupt you, but we have another tornado warning again.
another tornado warning. Okay, looks like this
You're
is
gonna
the
have
same
to switch
area in
gears.
Florida. So yeah, I mean we've been watching that particular updraft just right over here. Looks like it's starting to recycle a bit.
I was watching that, and I said, turn that thing off here for a second, and we'll go
Okay,
back
yeah,
on
it
that.
looks like we have a little bit of stronger shear signature there that's increasing. Yeah, that's about 40 knots. So the directional change with that. And this will be approaching Highway 39 near Knights around 356. So I mean, looks like this couplet has recycled a little bit, and obviously still radar indicated, but still this will be near Plant City at 5 Eastern time.
So
And
you want to
again,
be taking some shelter if you're in the path of the storm. Move away from windows. Go to the lowest floor. Mobile homes are not going to be safe right now, Isaac. Right?
yes, again, if you're in the immediate path of this vicinity of this flood again, you want to be in a site built structure, get as far away from the outside as you can.
Pretty decent
All right.
size of rotation with this. So this looks like it's really strong rotation, and
Yeah, it looks like yeah, I think you're looking at an older scan a little bit. I mean, all of that clutter that you're seeing on CC, probably it's in response to those height falls. We got heavier rainfall. It's being reflected back to the radar. And again, we still have a pretty good updraft with this. And I'm gonna look at some of these few reflectivity scans. Yes, I mean most of the shear is evident just looking at velocity, just in terms of what I'm seeing here.
yeah, that's still. I mean, if anybody's still, this is these have been more like a supercell event than we've been having than a straight line wind frame, right?
Yeah, I mean this is a low topped this is a low topped system. I mean we can definitely tell. I mean that the storm heights are less than 30,000 30,000 feet. I mean, and I mean just looking at how things have went in terms of the downdrafts. I mean, I'm going to try and retrieve some earlier radar data, but I mean, at tops that was about 25,000 feet. And now we're seeing some stable height falls, but I mean, it's not a very strong downdraft by any means. I mean, this is near the ground where we have what probably was a rear flank that pushed through the northern Tampa vicinity around the Bay Bridge. I mean, definitely you folks in Tampa, I'm going to see if we have any additional reports. But again, I will point out, JD, the CC signature that you probably see in the blue stuff. Again, that was probably tall buildings and other
Okay. I'm
clutter.
sorry.
It could have been debris or solid things that were lofted. Yes, just in theory, what you may see when you get those lower signatures. Just something that I am personally mindful of. But I'm retrieving some data here from the National Weather Service, see if we have any spotter reports. Okay, yeah, Pinellas Park, we've had a tornado report. Damage reported to vehicles in a warehouse near Bryan Dairy Road and 66th Street in Pinellas Park. I'm trying to see if we have any
Here's another
additional
thing, Isaac. I
information.
mean, I'm going to point out some other things too. If you in a tornado warning today, we all know what happened to that one other spot. We definitely want you in the site in a building. Even a basement will be safest place to go to be in. But you want that basement to have concrete, right? Help too, right?
Yeah, sure. I'm retrieving some additional data. Yeah. Most of what we had confirmed was based off of radar. We have one spot report. They still have to survey more damage and whatnot, but we only have one official report coming out of Pinellas County. And again, trying to see if I'm retrieving some additional information here. But yeah, I will point out that this is part of a more broad scale issue. And all right. Still trying to see if we have any additional information. Lots of marine weather headlines. We've had some possible water spouts. Now we're pushing ashore with that. I'm going to see if we have any additional snowfall reports coming out of NWS Sterling.
Okay, I'll take care of this for you. Second. Yeah, I was going to point out again. If you're anybody in this polygon, like you live in Knights area here, for anybody in the polygon needs to be taking some tornado plan for action. If you're in a mobile home, this was the time you want to evacuate it, hid somewhere. We don't want you to wait, right, Isaac? That's the worst time. The worst thing is wait on a tornado warning to be in a tornado warning, because that's wasting your time and you can get hurt easy, right? If you don't, right?
Yes. So the Pinellas County report just popped on the screen. Yeah, that's the local storm report that we just retrieved there. That was about an hour ago. We had tornado damage reported north of Pinellas Park. Again, looks like we're starting to get a stronger downdraft with that. And by the way things are to look, and they might have just dropped the warning. I'm not seeing the polygon on the screen anymore.
Let me
They
check
might have
mine.
dropped it based on the downdraft. It's been interacting with a little bit more stable areas that is pushing towards nights. But yeah, still heavier downdraft, maybe some heavy rainfall that could still be associated with that cell as it pushes towards Kathleen Providence area. But definitely looking like the tornadic nature of this activity was on and off. I mean, yeah, there's less available wind shear, but it's still there. No, I was correct. Yeah, the warning's still there.
Okay, so yeah, it still
Okay.
looks like let me check some of the blue's not there, so that's some fantastic news. Looks like the echo tops, or those are the look pretty low for this type of warning, but still wind sheared
Okay.
eyes. It looks pretty decent couplet right here, right?
Yeah, I'm seeing at least a little bit of a 30 knot couplet that's low level shear that's associated with this. I'm trying to see what the storm attributes are with this one. But yeah, it's not really plotting this pretty good for me. But I'm trying to see if we have any. Okay. Looks like everything that I'm seeing on storm attributes. I think the J8 thing is it's showing, yeah, at least 21,000 feet. There's a higher topped system. Oh yeah, this is showing stuff that's off the Gulf Coast. There's some building of heights with that, maybe down towards Sarasota or down towards Myers or Naples. Some of this activity is trailing. We get a little bit more convection batting off the Gulf with that. So, I mean, we could see some additional storms later this afternoon down there. To
Any
what
severe?
degree they are severe or whatnot will ultimately determine how strong the downdrafts are. But I mean, this is areas that are outside the D-line marginal risk area from the Storm Prediction Center. So we don't really expect too much from this, just given how they're going to quickly move into a little bit more stable air. But I will still point out that areas around, I'm seeing CETA's observations, that there's still fairly high dew points, so something could still spark a low-level updraft. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if we get something like that rear flank that move through, I know something to be cognizant of, because I've seen situations where
Me too,
we'll
Isaac.
get a little bit of inflow, but then a stronger downdraft. Like I mean, if they can converge with each other, then you get what we had resulted here just north of Tampa.
And like I said, I'm going to point something
I'm
out
checking
too,
out the storm
Isaac.
attributes. Most everything is stable.
I was going to point this out too. It only takes one tornado wanting, and one tornado to touch down and do some minor damage, and it's a bad day, right?
Yeah, sure. Just depends on where you are and what you do. Prepare for these weather disturbances, especially on a localized scale. You know, some locations are we
And like I
you
said, if
probably
you
have
live in
lots of emergency response. I'm not, I haven't really seen any additional local reports coming in. Um, Definitely looks like we still have a stronger downdraft with this one. Yeah, I mean, we do have damage reports to vehicles and warehouse. Still seeing if
wow.
still trying to see if we have any reports of anything that's like roofs took out or anything like that. But I mean, this is probably a more urban area, so I mean, probably what you'll see is maybe some windows that are blown
Hmm.
out, like that. I mean,
Well, like
if
I
you're in
said,
an
I'm gonna.
urban area, you're more looking at like industrial facilities or commercial buildings, not as many like residential areas.
But I'm gonna say this too, Isaac. That if you live in the deep South, like Florida,
Yeah,
Alabama,
we're having a hard
Texas,
time hearing you. There you are.
I'm gonna say if you live down the deep South, you should know how bad
Yeah,
the tornadoes can be, right?
yeah,
There.
most definitely. I mean,
Let me get my
this is
headphones.
why you know, if you're in an area that traditionally, if you're in an area that traditionally experiences storms, and I mean, especially since you're near the Gulf, you guys are probably more accustomed to these types of weather situations. So I mean, regardless of where you are, it's good to have, some kind of plan of action if you're
Yeah.
responding to a warning and whatnot.
Hmm. Well, like I said, if you live in Texas and Alabama, you should know how bad things can get a lot, because this is never new. We have this all the time, right, Isaac?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pay
Like I
a little
said,
bit
if we
closer
have more
attention to
warnings
everything.
tonight, we'll be
Oh,
right
wait a
back
minute.
on here, right?
Something I just figured out, Storm.
What?
Sure, sure. Okay, so I'm paying a little bit closer attention to storm attributes. This is a localized I'm seeing here. I'm going to see if we do have any. I mean, this is closer to the surface flow itself, but I'm trying to retrieve some additional data coming out of like Maryland, Pennsylvania, where the heavier snow bands are tracking through. But it is our understanding that we're getting some additional local storm reports. Trying to see if we have any more recent reports coming out of the snow band that is tracking through Maryland, southern Pennsylvania, but definitely some moderate to heavy snow bands that are pushing through. See if we have any, if it's liquid equivalent, I'm going to try and calculate some of the snowfall rates that are coming from this here. Oh, there we are. KLWX. Okay, there we are. So 3 DC shear coming up. We have an area where there's some more heavy snowfall that it's pushing. There's definitely some heavy freezing rain across Baltimore toward Field, Rockville, just north of Washington, D.C., Sterling. We have some lighter freezing rain for areas further south where we have mix going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's freezing. That's grapple, sleet, hail that could be in there. In those snowfall rates, pushing through Carroll County towards areas just south of Harrisburg, Adams County, Pennsylvania. And that is tracking north. I mean, prepare for heavy snow bands if you are in some of these vicinities. I think Harrisburg, Pennsylvania vicinity. I think the Alleghenies, where we have
up to 60 now. It looks like it's showing. Still there?
this is going to be an area to watch out. Oh, we do have new reports coming of Park and have another warning follow up that is mentioning if tornado. It's still retrieving some of the data. So oh, there we go. It just popped up. But yeah, confirmed tornado by. Yeah, so looks like what I'm seeing here.
You still there?
Yeah, what I'm seeing just south of Knights, that could be a little bit of debris that could be values. I'm gonna look at the previous scan.
Okay, let me pull that up.
Looks like it's crossing there now.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see a strong downdraft as we speak here.
All right, let me pull up the. Yeah, there's that red next to green there. That is pretty tight rotation, folks, in it. All right, Isaac, I got you some updates. A confirmed damaging tornado right now.
Confirmed damaging tornado. Yes, I affirm that. Tracking through Plant City towards eastern Hillsborough County. Yeah.
So I'm going to say, if you're in that tornado warning, take cover immediately, right, Isaac?
With the new developments coming out with that.
You need to check.
But I'm seeing some fairly decent height falls.
All right. At 4:58, a confirmed tornado was located near Plant City, moving east around 30 miles per hour, so hazardous. a damage and tornado. So if anybody, radar confirmed a damage and tornado, Isaac. So I mean, if anybody's in this polygon, need to be taking some shelter now, right? All right, we got 2 tornado warnings, Isaac.
Okay. Yes, I'm aware. Both of Hillsborough and Polk County. Trying to see if we have any. The warning is not mentioning anything that's spot or reported at this point in time. I'm going to switch things over to my PC here. It will be 1 second.
Okay, I'll read the text here for everybody. North Central Point County and Central Florida, okay. Central Hamburg County, Central Florida to about 5:30. At 5:01, a tornado producing storm is north of City East around 30 miles per hour. Hazardous damage and tornado confirmed by radar again. So if you in any of these communities, I would be taking some shelter immediately right now.
All right, there we are. I gotta remove my other thing there. Okay. Oh, it's not doing it. I'm surprised. I think it refreshes the data there. But I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen, or I mean, I'm not gonna switch from yours. I know you have some additional data that you're trying to retrieve there.
I'll be right back.
All right. There we go. All right. Catch up with some of the reports we're getting here. Again, Pinellas Park, amateur radio reports, power pole split in half. A lot of these reports coming out of Florida. And I'm going to point out kind of the situation in terms of power disruption, communication disruptions. This is according to poweroutage.us. Quite a bit of outages reported in Florida, Maryland, Pennsylvania. Okay, looks like Virginia has at least 21,000 people without power. Looks like a lot of this in response to freezing rain that we got going on there. Now it's still refreshing some of the data, but I mean, definitely along the eastern slopes of the Appalachians, a lot of the freezing rain occurring. And I'll try and retrieve some additional data coming from that.
All right, let me check the tornado warnings out real quick. Yeah, there's a decent couplet, Isaac.
Oops. Yeah, 1 second while I fix that up. Yeah, I mean, just looking at, it's like we got a little bit more of an inflow signature with this. It's kind of battling in as that kind of towards Kathleen, towards Providence, and Gibsonia. That's Highway 98. That's north of I-4. That's the area they're monitoring towards Polk City.
So if you're in that tornado polygon, this is the time you want to be taking some shelter now.
Yeah, sure. Seeing what other storm attributes. Yeah, Mesel scale looks like we got a rotating updraft with that one. 5,300 feet, so that is a fairly low top system. Now, see, the heights I've seen earlier were at least 21,000 feet as they push the shore. Now, this storm is at 5,300 feet. This is where the strongest downdrafts are happening as we speak. It's moving east-northeast 35 miles an hour, so it's going to be trailing I-4 here fairly soon at about a little earlier than 5:20 Eastern time.
Let me pull up my data for a second, okay? Hold on, I'll show you something here. See that rotation there? That really.
Okay. Yeah, there you are. Yeah, there's some height faults quite a bit associated with that.
So,
oh man.
Everybody's in the tornado polygon needs to probably move to the lowest floor. This is a confirmed a damaging tornado. This is a life situation, right?
Yeah, sure.
All right, you get any reports of a tornado on the ground?
Yeah, yet? I'm trying to retrieve some reports that are coming. So it looks like we have more local storm reports just now coming in out of Sterling, Virginia, weather forecast office here. You can see, looks like we have lots of snow reports. Looks like liquid equivalent or 10-1. Definitely calculating a lot of these areas are probably sitting where that heavier snow band is pushing through parts of West Virginia into Maryland as well. I mean, now we're starting to get some heavier snowfall reports as of 5:06 p.m. Eastern time, about 8.9 inches, probably rounding up to 9. So I mean, see, we're starting to get those heavier snow bands pushing north. So I mean, a lot of freezing rain reports. Freezing rain, almost 4/10 of an inch here. So I mean,
you'll start breaking power lines.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to see ice accretion on, very thick ice, or the thicker ice you get, tree limbs could just break apart if you get some stronger winds within there, and you'll also get accretion on power lines, and again, it's slippery conditions. So I mean, you'll get widespread accidents, widespread power outages, and it could take a little bit longer for utility crews. Especially given the dangerous conditions, it'll be a while before they can dispatch them safely. And some areas could be without power for several hours.
Yeah,
the earliest on a localized basis. I will point that out. Just depends, where the heaviest freezing rain does occur. A lot of areas could be impassable, especially rural areas, secondary, tertiary roadways. This is a whole situation we've been following up about there, and
in the last couple of days.
I gotta go back. Yeah.
It still shows over here by this tornado warning still continues with some pretty decent coupling there. So if anybody with any near these polygons, mobile homes are not going to be safe from these damaging tornadoes. Is it easy for a tornado to flip it over, right, Isaac?
Yeah, sure. Again, we're talking potentially a narrow area within that tornado. Obviously, the pressure, there's a strong pressure gradient, so you get very strong winds, and again, a good rear flank. So much stronger winds further aloft are rapidly falling towards the surface. So that's potentially what we're talking. Definitely non-site built structures could get damaged or perhaps destroyed or tipped over under those cases. So ahead of storms, you want to be monitoring conditions. If you get definitely not a good time to be in a non-site building or outside as severe thunderstorms.
We'll see a tornado watch or not.
I don't think that conditions are going to be rather organized. This is going to be more localized scale basis. So we're probably not going to end up with any sort of weather or storm prediction center tornado or severe thunderstorm watch at this point, because the center of low pressure is well up here towards the coast, and this is where we have more coastal flood headlines too. You can see where we have coastal flood warnings further up towards New Jersey, Delaware, if I'm right, towards
Mm-hmm.
Pennsylvania, New York, Long Island a little ways too. I'm not. I haven't checked for sure, but the area of concern. This is where general thunderstorm outlines are, and I mean
All right, the
definitely
green
as
is gone.
offshore flow from the Atlantic and surface conditions. We have more northerly flow up here, so I mean this is where we have a layer of colder. We have a colder shot of air, where we have these slopes along the Alleghenies there. Um, I mean, this is where we have the heavier snow bands pushing through with the northerly winds, but further aloft, the winds are out of the south, and we have rapidly falling pressure remarks out of York Airport. So, I mean, this is where we have heavy snow at this point. Over the last hour, I'm trying to see what the hourly precip rates. Yeah, I mean, over the past hour, I mean, looks like we've had a tenth of an inch of snow, but looks like the snow rates are rapidly increasing with that. So, I mean, the 1 hour precip totals, I mean, 0.5, multiply that by 10. I mean, some areas are seeing like 2 to 3 inch an hour rain snowfall potential. I mean, this is the lower end of the scale. So, I mean, just look at 3/10 of rain, multiply that by 10 with the that's
Okay,
the 10
I got
1
one
liquid to
tornado
snow
warning.
ratio.
One tornado warning has got canceled.
Yeah, it looks like the storm has moved out of Hillsborough County.
We still got this one tornado warning. Let's pull up the
Yeah,
velocity on
it's
that.
like a weaker inflow notch, but they're still hanging in there. So, still radar confirmed, nothing from spotters at this point, but
That's
still.
some fantastic news, but you still want to be in your tornado safe spot. Don't let your guard down, right?
Yeah, this is approaching I-4 between.
All right, now it's tighten right back up again.
What?
Starting to tighten right back up a little bit. Can you see that green spot?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Oh, you're talking on velocity. I thought you meant reflectivity.
Yes.
Still,
There's
you know, even if it's red, dark red against bright red, you can definitely tell the shear associated with that has been fairly significant there. So, I mean, it could pick back up. Yeah, you can see that. Red against greener.
Look at that.
Yeah, that came in there. So, I mean, between -10 and 40, I mean, that's or closer to zero. Yeah, not -10. This is probably about 30 to 40 knot shear that's on a more broad scale. So, I mean, still, this is the area where it's strongest near Gibsonia. At least 20 knot shear or drop in the velocity in terms of knots.
What is this dark blue? So what does this dark blue means here? 80 here. What does this mean?
Oh, this is 80. Yeah, this is looks like debris that's being lofted up. Yeah, this is 80. We're starting to get some cooler colors with that. So I'm going to go ahead and compare that to the past few scans, retrieve some of the data that we got earlier, kind of loop this.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me do that.
Yeah, that's a debris signature. It's just south of Kathleen. Looks like that could be lightweight objects that are being lofted into the atmosphere. The radar's showing that. So, I mean, this is a possible debris signature, definitely confirmed by the Weather Service between Kathleen and Gibsonia. This will be approaching Highway 98.
So if you're in that tornado polygon, seek shelter now. This is the time you want to be seeking some shelter if you're in the path of that storm.
So I will point out this is the latest correlation coefficient scan. The base scans come in there's a new scan. Looks like still evidence of debris, a little bit more lightweight objects that could potentially be in place. So, I mean, the scans are indicating stuff from over here, but this is probably several minutes behind. So, again, we might be talking areas right around Highway 98. This tornado is probably pushing through Highway 98 as we speak. Maybe a little bit further areas. So, I mean, just because, you know, you look at these scans, you probably can say, oh, I got a few more minutes. But, I mean, even
You
if
do.
you're looking at a dual polarization product, it takes a while to retrieve new scans. When your local meteorologist is retrieving some of the data. So, I mean, this is a few minutes behind, so it could be over Gibsonia now. This is where we have a little bit of a weaker updraft, so some upscale forcing near the surface, but still a good rear flank that has been evident here at the low levels. And just
Yeah,
looking
you
at
don't
this,
want to let folks. You don't want to let your guard down on this one storm. This is a very tight storm, and it looks like it's a damaging tornado. So you definitely don't want to be in a mobile home right now. So evacuate it and head to. You got a friend's house, or you definitely want to head there, but you don't want to wait on this tornado. It could be already on top of you before you know it.
yeah, most definitely. Okay, I'm going to see if there's any more developments, local storm reports coming out of any of these areas. Okay, another Pinellas Park 911 dispatch. Structure collapse in an industrial area on Endeavor Way in Largo. Okay, so I mean, we have some structures that are collapsing. I mean, this is in a commercial subdivision of Pinellas Park, I presume, just west northwest of there. But I mean, looks like we got some images coming in. Looks like I'm going to see if the weather's. I mean, I have a Twitter feed that I monitor every now and then. I'm going to retrieve some of the data that I'm getting on there, but a Twitter feed from NWS Ruskin. But again, I'm getting more local storm reports. 8 inches of snow in Kaiser. That's as of 5/12.
That's still getting
Yeah,
pretty big.
yeah. I
And
mean
people are
that
still going to.
band
Yeah,
snowing
let me
freezing
throw
rain.
some things out there, Isaac. If you definitely in the snow part of this, you could lose power, and you probably need to charge up your devices just in case you lose power, because the power company, you're right, Isaac, are not going to get out there until this event all passes. Am I correct?
Yeah, sure. It may be difficult for power and emergency crews to reach you. So sometimes if you're stranded, you want to stay with your vehicle, have some way to keep warm. Like I know the saying, kind of run your vehicle, keep your windows open a crack, and then run your vehicle 10 minutes per hour. I mean, it helps. You want to stay ventilated, get some fresh air, or else you're going to get really uncomfortable. I mean,
Yes.
I'm not. I'm going to have to check, see if we do have reports like stranded motorists. There's Twitter feeds from. I'm going to check, see if we have any Twitter feeds from the Pennsylvania or Maryland Department of Transportation, M.Dots, or Washington Transit Authority, whatever. Maryland Emergency Management. Look, I'm going to check their Twitter feed, see if there's anything to pass along. That's a pinned thing there. But yeah, snow emergency plans for Allegheny, Carroll, Frederick, Garrett, Hart, a lot of these counties. The Minnesota State Police, Maryland Emergency Management State Police. There's been snow emergencies declared. Looks like a little ways on the state level too. I mean, state police. They have. I think we've got like plows, heavier amounts of like snow plows. I mean, definitely discouraging travel. And trying to see if we have any Department of Transportation reports. Yeah, so MD Transportation. But yeah, it looks like Interstates. Interstate 70 at East Harmony Road, left lane closed for jackknife tractor trailer. I'm just reading some stuff we have from the Twitter feed here. State
All right, the tornado warning has got expired.
Okay, looks like that height falls. Looks like the storm is no longer the point where there's a mature updraft. Okay, but I will point out that some areas along I-70 in Washington County towards Frederick County. Parts of Interstate 70 are impassable and are closed. So at the state level,
Are we in a state of emergency now?
well, I mean, at the state level, most definitely the local level. I mean, I'm not for certain if the governor has declared a state of emergency.
Are we in
I
COVID?
mean, there's definitely a very significant concern with sections of I-70. You know, some of these major interstate highways are impassable, and in some cases, I'm seeing reports that they have been declared closed in some areas to motorists, where they have to, get emergency vehicles and tow trucks. I mean, there's been reports of like tractor trailers that have been overturned,
Okay.
that
I
have
got the
slid
feeling.
off the road in some cases due to this heavy ice. So I mean,
Yep.
Even primary roadways in some cases are reported to be impassable. So it is in the best of hopes that some areas, if your power is out, it's good to have some, extra emergency supplies like bottled water, food, and ways to keep warm. I mean, like blankets, extra blankets, and things like that. And if you have a generator, keep it ventilated, keep the exhaust pointed away from the house, and only grill if it's outside too. So
yeah, are we in emergency feed coverage?
I'm not seeing anything about like a statewide disaster proclamation in some of these areas, but I will point out that it is. Okay, hold on. But yeah, it looks like we got wide area of winter storm warning stretching from Maryland or West Virginia, parts of Virginia, up towards New Hampshire, and even southwest tip of Maine. All of Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, southern New York, New York City, northern New Jersey, most of Pennsylvania, I will point out. And I'm going to see what these Weather Service have. State College. This is what I was trying to retrieve earlier. I mean, the Weather Service is following up about this band of heavy snow, parts of Perry, Lancaster, York, Northumberland, Adams, Franklin, Cumberland, Lebanon, a whole bunch of these counties towards Schuylkill, Dauphin, Geneva. This was guidance that was issued less than an hour ago, but I mean, they're advising with this band of snow and sleet mixing in, rapidly reducing visibility near zero. I mean, it's just in response to the moisture with this. You know, sometimes you get a band of snow, so much moisture with this, it's rapidly sinking towards the ground. You may get some gusty winds with this, but
I got a report, Isaac, to pass along to you again. We have reports of some pine tree limb branches down where ice accretion has occurred.
Yes, yeah, exactly. We've been getting various reports from this, but extremely heavy snow rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour. I mean, this band is moving northeast fairly quickly, but it's going to impact much of the a lot of the Pennsylvania Turnpike between 214 to 295, parts of I-78, I-81, I-83, I-283. So I mean, just talking about some of those areas in the Pennsylvania Turnpike area, conditions will definitely rapidly deteriorate. Definitely be on the lookout for snow or ice-covered roadways, and definitely in some cases it could be impassable.
Yeah, I think it's going to be impassable.
I mean, it could definitely, in some cases, emergency vehicles, power crews, utility crews, even tow trucks, if you get stranded or you slide off the road, in some cases, definitely give them some time to reach you. Definitely it's too dangerous to be going out.
I mean, if you don't have Guys, if you don't have to travel tonight, don't do it. Stay
Yeah,
home.
sure.
That's the thing to do.
Yeah, sure. And then we have another area of heavy snow pushing through areas around Pittsburgh as well. So, I mean, parts of eastern Pennsylvania as well, parts of I-70, most of the Pennsylvania Turnpike between most of the Pennsylvania Turnpike, definitely very dangerous. I mean, this is one of the most dangerous roadways in the country, if I'm not
Wow.
mistaken. I mean,
Wow.
we remember, traveling on the turnpike or something like that. I mean, the roadways are very narrow. There's lots of tunnels, and there's lots of turning, and the speed limits are fairly low. I think aren't they like 65 or a little bit less than that?
I don't
It
know.
could be 55 in some areas, but I mean, definitely, it's going to be a very difficult travel concern. I mean, there's two different snow bands, one near Harrisburg and York and Lancaster towards Gettysburg, and also towards eastern Pennsylvania as well. I mean, looks like from Pittsburgh to Youngstown to Butler, Meadville, Clarion areas. There's another snow band that is sharply reducing visibility. I'm going to see if we have any reports of accumulation coming out of that. I don't think that's Harrisburg. I need to get some state college reports. This is following up to these areas near Harrisburg. But yeah, I mean, just over the past few hours, you get 5 inches of snow with this band.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely telling there's definitely some reports of heavy snowfall coming in just as of 4:15 with this.
All right, we got one report over here from a few hours ago, or towards the Massachusetts here area. We're starting to see six inches of snow becoming freezing rain right now.
Yeah, I think that was an earlier report. I mean, we have some spotter reports through there. Okay, I'm still in Florida on this here. I'm going to get some additional attributes as much as I can. I'm going to quickly go from one area of monitor to
Me and
another.
Isaac are trying not to scare everybody, but we're just trying to tell everybody that we definitely think these roads are going to get very slick later and very dangerous to pass.
Yeah.
So when the emergency manager and the governor, all that tell you to stay home, that means stay home. Do not go on the road unless you have to. And some of these governors and police officers give you tickets if you don't listen, right, Isaac?
Well, in the case that there's like curfews or that they prohibit travel, but I mean, now we're actually, state of New Jersey has a state of emergency. Some of these, New Jersey governor, okay, that's New Jersey. Looks like, I think
are we in feed coverage over that or
not? Yeah, we're getting there. It looks like we have Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Okay, also Virginia. We have at least 3 states that have officially declared states of emergency at this point. I had a delay kind of retrieving all that data. I think this was earlier in the morning. They were updating that. Not really much attention over these state responses over the media, but I think this would indicate the state, most of these states probably already activated their emergency operations center, their disaster response where they have to dispatch a whole bunch of emergency or like the snow removal crews. I mean, it's going to take a lot, to treat these roadways. And I mean, definitely, it's good to heed what, your executive and legislative officials are telling you. I mean, in some cases, these local law enforcement and state level emergency operations team, they have a very important job to do, and your safety is at their true heart. What they're doing. I mean, Don't assume that this is a message of politics. No, this is your life that's at risk, and it's important. Like if you don't listen to these, if you don't listen to meteorologists, if you don't listen to people, I mean, definitely some motorists are off guard. I mean, snow emergencies, state of emergencies have been declared in multiple states, including Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Maryland, and Virginia. Yeah,
we just got one. Okay, I got another report for you again. Measured 0.0 inches of accumulation right over here. Can you see it?
Okay, let me pull it up. Get back in the StreamYard window. I don't think you have the type highlighted there. Oh, okay, that's a quarter of an inch near Beckley, West Virginia, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. I mean, if you see that little capital T on your screen, no, not there. Go back to radar, GR level 3. You can see that a second to the top bar. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there you go. Now you can discern. Now this is an algorithm that tells you what the projected precipitation type is.
All right, now what am I supposed to go to?
No, you're already there. Okay. Yeah, where you have the precip type highlighted. Okay, but yeah, I mean, you can definitely tell where there's been a band of freezing rain that pushed through. It looks like a lot of it is probably mixed rain and snow in some cases. Probably sleet embedded within there as well. So this is along the Appalachian Mountains, the Appalachian terrain, where I mean, got higher elevations, much colder air at the ground too. So.
Yeah, this is getting really all right. I got one report of a temp of freezing rain. Another report of taking along Francis Road flat ice accretion from Redhead Ice Mount down here. Can you see this?
Yes, I saw the local storm report. All right, so I'm going to relay some more information about what the New Jersey officials are reporting about the state of emergency. Looks like it took effect at 2:00 p.m. Eastern time. So police, fire, public safety officials. Looks like they've activated emergency response. State offices for non-essential workers closed at 1 p.m. And by declaring the state of emergency, the governor is urging all non-essential personnel to stay off the roads and not to interfere with law enforcement in the area, because the law enforcement have other accidents they have to report to, and they have to do a whole bunch of declarations. Doesn't mean that motorists will be ticketed, or you're not going to be cited unless you're obstructing, what law enforcement have to do. That they have a job. So I mean, you don't want to be the next accident or something like that. It's going to put more strain on law enforcement. They'll have trouble reaching other stranded motorists as well. So I mean, there's no mandate to stay off the roads. No, unless officials have closed roadways in some instances that they may be impassable. But again, by declaring a state of emergency, we're urging, the governors are urging all people to stay off the roads. And many state authorities like the state police, Pennsylvania Turnpike Commission, firefighters, and I mean a lot of departments of transportation, highway patrols are trying to relay the same message, that you could be putting yourself and others at risk by
and we already have a problem already, Isaac. We already have social distancing.
I mean, definitely if you have to be around others, and you have to, and you have to help stranded motorists in some cases, because there are emergency vehicles that I mean, it's definitely important to be vigilant to COVID restrictions as well. If you have to be members outside of your own household, you know the drill about staying 6 feet apart when possible. But also, I mean, in a crisis situation, sometimes you may not be able to accommodate 6 feet. So I mean, that's not the priority here. The priority is your life, your safety, and
Your
yeah.
safety
So I
comes
mean,
first.
that's yes. I mean, social distancing never comes before safety in a crisis situation.
All right, we still got this
So
big
definitely
band
be
of snow,
mindful of
and it
that.
looks very heavy, Isaac. This snow looks heavy.
Yeah, I mean, in some cases, those snowfall rates could be between who knows, maybe 3 inches an hour. So I mean, if that band over an area for pretty long, I mean, some areas could be talking well over the expected amount of, the expected accumulation. So some areas could be talking, widespread amounts, 6 inches, maybe some localized totals. Some areas could build up to a foot. Maybe you could get some stronger winds within there. You could get some drifting. So I mean, you never know. Amounts will vary.
Power ad.
Just depends on how quickly that covers over that area. Um, so I mean, definitely we gotta pay really close attention to how these bands kind of train over that area. It looks like areas right around Blacksburg, Virginia. There, that's getting close. Like Roanoke, other areas in Western Virginia. Definitely, as that snow band continues to hover over that area, that's where we're probably going to be talking some significant snowfall over a shorter period of time. And again, Virginia is in a state of emergency as well. I will point that out. So the governor has, uh, at this point, probably activated emergency response, emergency operations center, and highway patrol, all these snow plows with the Department of Transportation. We definitely want to be cognizant of, how they're trying to contain and treat these roadways and help stranded motorists. That is their priority.
All right, let's kind of look and see. Yeah, look at all these ports. Goodness, we got a bunch of ports, Isaac, don't we?
Yeah, those are local storm reports. I mean, some of those could be delayed, but a lot of that is coming in within the past hour. So I mean, up to that point, that is not the hourly snowfall rate or how much snow fell within a confined period of time. That is the amount that has been added up to until the time the report was received, or rather the time that has been it has been reported there. So I mean, um,
And
look
this
at
is
the slopes of the Allegheny, just the broad scale of the Appalachians towards the coastal areas. You can see a whole bunch of those totals that are rapidly popping up. I mean, I think with those heavier snowfall rates, they definitely will vary just where you have those heavier snowfall bands. So,
well, let's see. Still watching potentially for ice and stuff. I mean, this is going to be a problem with power outages. People's going to lose power too from this.
yeah, I'm gonna see if we have any updates from the Power Outage US. This is a nonprofit site, so I mean,
Anybody can use it.
10 to 30% of customers in trying to determine the county, but one of the Virginia county has at least a quarter of the whole counties without power. So I mean, I wasn't able to retrieve
Wow.
the county name. It's back to where it's loading again. But I mean, there are areas definitely in Virginia, probably into Maryland and Pennsylvania as well. Just retrieving some of the additional data that we have coming in. But yeah, we'll point out quite a bit of power outages inferably across Virginia, and like probably a state line with West Virginia, we have more of those outages being reported there. So I mean, out of 3 million people, 28,000 are without power in Virginia, and then also about 15,000 within power without without power in, I think, the Florida Gulf Coast of Panhandle. Not the Panhandle, the peninsula. I meant.
Even tornadoes did that.
Yeah, probably in the Tampa vicinity somewhere. Excuse me. I just got back from a very heavy packaging job. So, see if we have any additional reports coming in.
Glad you
We
helped
have
me down
5 to
that
6 a band of heavy snow pushing through, areas around the Pennsylvania Turnpike, some of these other vicinities in Pennsylvania. So, I mean, bands of heavy snow rapidly reducing visibility to near zero in some cases. So this is between Huntington to Millersburg to Renninger's, moving north at about 55. So, I mean, those on Interstate 80, specifically areas between Limestoneville and Bloomsburg Light Street exits, between 217 to 235. I mean, parts of I-80, I-81, I-99. So, I mean, the snow will accumulate so rapidly in some cases that it will be extremely difficult for road crews to treat the roadways, keep it clear. And in some cases, emergency vehicles may have a difficult time helping stranded motorists, and there could also be pileups as well. So, I mean, there's no safe place on the roadway when the winter weather situations
stay home.
deteriorate.
Folks, just do like what me and Isaac say. Just stay home tonight. Let this snow event pass, and maybe some of the snow plows can get back on the road. We don't want anybody on the road tonight. This is a dangerous situation.
Yeah, sure.
So, like I said,
we'll
this is
see
not
if
like
we have any additional developments coming in. Another 6-inch snowfall report in Fairfield. So, JD, I will kind of reiterate what we have now. This is a situation where we are getting minute-to-minute developments that will probably need to be relayed in a short period of time.
I can help tonight.
It would probably be appropriate to, I mean, I'll probably be in and out of the broadcast room here. But I will point out that this is kind of where we're in a level 2 to level 3 feed coverage. I mean, it doesn't depend what the colors are in the group, but I mean, we want to be very cognizant of, I'm kind of the person that's monitoring the Twitter feeds and whatnot, but I mean, definitely lots of local and state level disaster response going on. So, I mean, this is a situation where we need an elevated layer of coverage. So, I mean, definitely by all means, we should keep working this broadcast, but I'll be in and out. So if you have any other things to relay, that would be helpful. I'm going to step out for just a few minutes.
Can you get Austin in right tonight?
Austin, okay. I'll send a stream invite soon. And if we do get like to the point where we do like a coordinated like meso watch thing, I'm gonna see if we can get. Maybe we'll have to fetch a brand new stream output and share it to some additional places too. So we'll have it shared to more people in that case. So I'll kind of coordinate with that. But in the meantime, could you continue the feed while I step out for a minute?
How long is it going to take?
Just a couple minutes. I probably got to get something to eat.
I'm gonna put things on. I'm gonna put things on mute. I gotta do the same thing too. I'll put it on mute for a minute.
All right. Could you? Yeah. I'll kind of moderate what we have going on, but yeah, we'll get full screen data.
I'm gonna put things on mute.
I'll be in and out to relay. Okay.
I'll put it on mute. Okay.
I'm not muted, but yeah, sure. I'm gonna go full screen on JD's thing here, and I'm gonna relay some reports that we get. There we go. But yeah, you can definitely tell those heavier snowfall bands are pushing north towards Blacksburg and Roanoke areas in Virginia. So I mean, that's where there's definitely some heavy accumulation underway. Um, I'm gonna I could probably loop it, but that's not on my screen. That's the only problem. But I mean, I'm gonna get the broad scale. Yeah, definitely rapid pressure falls along this area.
I'll be right back. Okay.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and highlight the preset type with that. I'm going to go ahead and loop. And I'll keep the accumulation reports on here. And I'm going to switch to my feed here. Just for now. There we go. So, those of you wondering, we have all the snowfall local storm reports on here. Okay. Retrieve some additional local storm report info here. Again, this is a feed that we have going on. Also have some reports of standing water in some places. Okay. Heavy band of snow. Again, State College is emphasizing that.
Still there? You there, Isaac? All right, we're continuing to watch this winter storm coming in, and we do have that potentially that storm coming through here. Could drop several inches. We already have state emergencies for these areas, so we will continue to watch this. I'm going to leave the live stream up, and like I said, like me and Isaac have been saying for the last couple hours, if you don't have to be out, don't go out this evening. This is a dangerous situation on the roads. Like down there in New Jersey already has a state of emergency for the system, so we don't want like anybody else out there trying to do this. So you definitely want to.
All right, JD, I'm back. We were just my brother just decided to order some food, so
Nice.
do we have any updates since I jumped off?
No, I decided to go get. I decided to run to the other room and check on a couple things and got my food cooking. So I probably want to have you when it gets done. I'll probably have you take over for a little bit. Is that okay?
Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna see if we have any additional things to report on feed here. But yeah, just let me see if we have any additional reports. But yeah, more Pinellas County tornado reports. Major structural damage reported to a business down in Pinellas County. In Hillsborough County, looks like mobile home damage too. So I mean, definitely a concerning situation, you folks down in Pinellas and
yeah,
Hillsborough County.
We all know in the deep south how bad they can be. So you definitely tonight, like before you came on, I told everybody, you like me and Isaac are saying, if you don't have to travel tonight on the road, stay home. This is what the governor trying to tell you is stay home and let them do the work. If you go out there, it's going to take longer for they get things done, right? I don't even think we'll be out of emergency feed coverage until tomorrow, would we?
Well, I mean, we're in the elevated feed level now because this is something the members, the public, spotters, everyone in our storm community basis needs to be aware of. I mean, we can see we have amounts adding up to 6 inches on these reports. This is by county, by alphabetical. That's how they sorted it out in this new report they just pushed out. This is the State College, Pennsylvania. This is all chronological, like in terms of minutes, if that's correct. Okay.
Be right back.
Okay. But yeah, we're definitely getting a lot of snowfall reports coming in there. I'm going to go ahead and go back to radar scope. New update. You can see those heavier snow bands are now approaching I-76. If I'm not mistaken, that's I-81. I'm trying to mouse over it. It's glitching now because I think there's a lot of because I'm hooked up to Ethernet and there's a lot of download speed, and I have an old CPU on this computer, so it takes a while. It looks like a lot of that snow is falling right now. That snow band is weakened a little bit, but I'm going to go to the latest scan now, and we can see now the heaviest precip is associated with this freezing rain that's tracking a little bit north. A moderate heavy sleet, freezing rain, and then some snowfall, some moderate heavy snow now near I-83. But I mean, we can definitely tell that 6 inches of snow has fallen within just a couple of hours, relatively short period of time. So a lot of this snow has fallen within a relatively short period of time. We have a video feed coming from here. I'm actually going to try and pull this up. Again, credit goes to, I'm actually going to do this on my phone to avoid infringement issues, but I mean, I do like to catch up with feed from Spotter Network and whatnot. Severe Studios. I just like to I just like to see how things go with this. Okay. Not this. I'm going to see how things are going along I-81. All right, watch live storm chasers. I mean, I'm just going to try and describe this as I view any video feed that is relayed over the spotter network. That's John Humphreys. Oh yeah, the sun's already set. Wow, how time definitely flies. But yeah, I'm looking at the video feed that's been submitted to Spotter Network. Just to see how just to reference how things are going. This is actually a YouTube live stream by the look of it.
How's it looking, Isaac? Is it looking like, any new reports coming in yet?
Yeah. I mean, we have some local storm reports to reference. Obviously, some stuff coming from Ruskin. Okay, yeah. I mean, a lot of structural damage coming in from Pinellas County with that, but
Wow.
we have other reports along the snow band, widespread accumulation up to 6 inches being submitted. But what I'm actually going to try and do is get some video feed data from live storm chasers. It's having an issue retrieving the stream data. So it's taken me some time to find or to get this going here. But it normally did take a while when I was hooked up to Ethernet, and it's just I have a slow computer that has high download speeds on this Ethernet cable. So I mean, there's so many people using the internet at once. So I mean,
this is Christmas time, so that's probably why.
Well, yeah, and I mean it's an issue for the house too. I mean, sometimes if there's a high demand for if you're trying to get on a website, so many people are accessing it, you might get a HTTP or proxy error because if there's so many demand, it can't cover. Like there's a server when you go to a website.
That's something else out there to everybody too. It wouldn't hurt, Isaac, everybody to have a weather radio for winter weather too. Am I correct?
Yeah, I mean, the good thing about weather radios, I mean, if you're trying to get information from a news source, and if it's the internet, there's so many people trying to get on the news or try to retrieve the news information. But I mean, this is why, old school technology, television, radio, NOAA weather radio. I mean, all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's a tool to get information out to the world, to the public at once. You don't have to go on the internet for every single little thing. So I mean, this is a good thing about having a battery powered radio and TV, things like that. But I mean, if your power's out, how are you going to turn your TV on without?
You're not going to have you just can't do that. I mean, this is why me and Isaac are streaming for you to keep you updated. So that way, if you go like dark or don't have power, you can still have an extra device with you, like charge your internet up. That's what I do when I lose power. When I think there's going to be severe weather or winter weather, I decide to charge up my internet hotspot in case we lose power, so I can stream and still have something to get warnings with.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good thing. I'm still getting the error code trying to retrieve the information, but I'm going to try again. This time, try and retrieve a YouTube link with this here. Or Severe Studios. I can search them on YouTube. But I mean, I'm going to try and see how things are going in Schuylkill County, Pennsylvania. There. Oh, Severe Studio live stream. There we go. Oh, that's. I don't see anything that's live at this point. Okay, 1 second. I'm going to try and. Oh, live. There we go. Oh, they don't convey this to YouTube. That makes things a lot easier for me. Apparently, you need a special, like, you can't do this on a mobile site. I mean, I would have to, but I mean, definitely to describe how conditions are in, oh, wait a minute. I'm actually going to see, I'm just trying to describe or put into details how things are looking right now. But I mean, or just, that's the media that's reporting there, but yeah, how things are looking in New York City. That's something I'm interested in. Oh, that's oh, live storms media. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Yeah, Somerset, Pennsylvania. I'm just checking this out.
Any new information? I just went out and got me some coffee.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm interested in what the snowfall rates are now. But yeah, along this band, now we're starting to get some heavier snowfall. Parts of York and Lancaster counties. They're a lot in ways north. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go to the 1 hour rainfall product here. We can determine that 1 to 2 inch per hour snowfall totals are still in place over a broad zone. I mean, 1 to locally 2 inches. They're not as heavy as what we thought they were, like, right at this time. But
they want to get worse, right?
I'm just using in my mental, just some mental calculations I've been making. I'm watching a video of the Pennsylvania Turnpike, how things have been going there. But I mean, that's definitely moderate snow showers that are pushing through there. Some motorists that are having to deal with some slippery conditions there. I mean, that's definitely a concern. This is a cumulative snowfall effect. It's going to be persisting for the next several hours, probably for the next 12 to 24 hours. A lot of the Northeast is going to be dealing with this snow event. I mean, New York City areas and a lot of these areas, I mean, barometric pressure is falling rapidly. So, I mean, that's a sign that if we get all this moisture backing up here, I mean, that's probably where we have some heavier snow bands that we might be talking about some heavier snow bands here.
Yeah, how long is this thing going to last, Isaac?
Oh, this is Upton here. I mean,
how's it going to last?
I mean, oh yeah, we have a heavy snow band that's looking to push through New York now for the next few hours. I mean, this is an area where we could be talking about. Excuse me. So I mean, we have an inch or so per hour snowfall totals at the very least. These could be 2 inch per hour snowfall totals, worst case scenario. I will point that out. And just given what reflectivity is showing here, I mean, this is fairly heavy snow across Union County, New Jersey.
Well, I just didn't know how long is this. How long is this going to last?
Yeah, according to the terminal Doppler radar here at Kings, it won't. Oh, that's actually offline by the look of it. I mean, that's a non-National Weather Service radar. I think that's an FAA radar, if I'm not mistaken. So go back to Upton. Oh shoot! I mean, you can see a heavy snow band. I'm gonna download some of the recent data, kind of loop this out. But I mean, definitely a heavy snow band looking to approach the New York City metro along I-95. But yeah, you can see how rapidly that's moving ashore there. It's still downloading some data intermediately, but yeah, a heavy snow band that's moving ashore. It looks like New York City areas along Long Island. I mean, this is going to be some very heavy snow that's moving your way. So I mean, get ready for some very heavy, wet, compact snow potentially So, I mean, this is going to be potentially a situation where it's going to be hard for roadway crews to treat these conditions. And when you
Yeah,
get
I mean, well, here's another thing, Isaac. I look at my phone. Sediment temperatures could be down in the teens, not kind of like 17 to 18 degrees. That is hard to just.
could you verify for me the location of
Well,
so
it was last night. I think I've been close to Pennsylvania. My phone showed last night, but I'll
Oh,
have
okay.
to
I
look.
mean, yeah, definitely along this broad scale troughing, a lot of the heights are falling, so that is really going to affect the surface thermodynamic profile. So there's going to be a rapid cool down behind the front and the trough. So I mean, you would definitely expect as that pushes through, you would be looking at rapidly falling temperatures in some cases. So I mean, wet roadways in some cases will definitely or could get they'll be slick
Yep,
and you
just
want to
been
be.
telling everybody all day. The last couple of days, Isaac, when we forecasting this thing, I mean, we thought this was going to be a major winter storm to extremely major winter storm, right?
Yeah, I mean, now is the time where everything's coming together. So I mean, it's following a persistent track. I mean, definitely, I've been looking at guidance to suggest that obviously the heavier totals would be approaching lower coastal New England, so like New York, Boston, and areas as well. Definitely could see uh, some concerning situations with this. So
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
like I said, I thought this. Looking at models last night when I was getting ready to do looking at models last night, they were showing like we could see, some places could get up to 20 inches of snow. That is a possibility, right?
well, yeah, just it depends on banding. I mean, where the heaviest snow falls in a shorter period of time, like amounts could add up to that much. We're not talking like 20 inches of snow everywhere. No, I mean it could happen on a localized basis. So you're going to want to be really cognizant of like where you are in relation to the heaviest snow bands. If they like some areas across East Pennsylvania towards like New Jersey, New York, this is where the heaviest snow bands are now pushing through. So I mean, you guys are basically under the gun for some really heavy snow, um, and uh, and when we get rapidly falling temperatures on the backside, I mean, probably some rain will mix in too along the heavier bands. So I mean, I mean, expect the temperatures to go down definitely with the pressure going down. That's where we have all the height falls going on. But I mean, expect maybe some little bit of coastal rain to mix in. But I mean, it could be freezing rain and sleet as well. I mean, just
So
depends on
definitely,
how much warmer the temperatures are just right above the surface. If you get a little bit of a temperature inversion profile within there. Oh yeah.
yeah, this is what we've been forecasting for the last couple days. And when you start seeing freezing rain, I'm concerned we'll see widespread power outages or isolated power outages.
I mean, it could be obviously the power outages are local issues. So I mean,
Especially out here.
yeah, I mean, obviously major urban vicinities, you're not going to see as much disruption to electricity and things like that. But like widespread commerce disruptions and things like that, either way, like many like areas further away from like New York City, for example. I mean, where power distribution, there's it's more rural areas that will definitely see a majority of the issues when it comes to like power outages and whatnot. So I mean, definitely be cognizant of that. I'm going to keep this going up, but I got to step out again for a minute.
Yeah, it's like we've been saying all day. We've been having this huge winter storm continues, and you still have these numbers going. Like I said, let me go here and hide this. Type in weather center. We'll check out the mesoscales and see if we have any mesoscales right now going on. And see what we have in place. All right, let's see. Go to we have 7 reports of tornadoes today with this. So yeah, this is a huge storm system. Let's see when this was. This got entered at 12:56. That's old news. No mesoscale has been entered, but yeah, we got special weather statements been entered for this whole system. This is why we're continuing to watch this. Severe significant winter storms, and I'm going to show everybody the whole system here and why I'm concerned. You can see what concerns me is I'm gonna change. Go to share screen. You still there, Isaac? And I'll show everybody why I'm concerned. It's because we have this whole storm system. Put my picture on, and you can see you have this here, out here in the Colorado area, not Colorado, but out here in the Pennsylvania, New York, and then you have the warm section where we have that 3 or 4 tornado warnings that got put in place. So yeah, there's been definitely Isaac, can you hear me? You can we still have these that out there you have that going, and down there you have the warm section, and that brings the severe weather side of it. So yeah, you have a large storm system. So this is a pretty decent storm. So definitely we have that. So we got storms continuing. Winter storms warnings continue. Go right to this here. You can see all these pink colors, and getting reports of no significant weather advisory at the time. 6 inches of snow reported, 4 inches. This is incredible how much this is just really getting. Very heavy snowfall in New York. So that's going to be the biggest thing that we have is some significant snowfall continuing in these areas. So here we're continuing to watch all this. And this is just continuing to move in. Right now, I'm going to continue to watch reports, and we will continue to update you. I'm going to put the mic on mute for a little bit, and animate the radar will continue to keep you updated. Are you there? You still there?
I'll do what needs done there.
Are you back?
Yeah, I was just stepping out. We had some food, so
Me too. I'm eating now too. I'm eating now too.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a look at that snow band. Looks like the rates have increased a bit with that. I can't really tell just looking at it. Okay.
Who's talking?
That's just the background.
Mm.
Yeah. And after I eat, I definitely have congestion and things like that to navigate. So yeah, I'll be back in a minute.
All right. What happened?
All right, I'm back. The snowfall rates have definitely picked up as they're pushing through. Looks like lower Manhattan's starting to get the worst of it now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to get the observation data out of this here. Okay, I'm going to go back to the latest scan there. But yeah, I mean, peak wind gust was 38 miles per hour at 5:05 p.m. Eastern time. Surprised that was a trace. Right now it's 6:39 p.m. Eastern time. So I mean, this is an outdated observation. It didn't give us a new one yet. But I mean, now we have this heavy snow band is about to loft into lower Manhattan. Looks like Kings, Southern Queens there. Looks like the Bronx pretty soon will start getting some of the heavier snow bands with that. But I mean, the heaviest of this is definitely impacting like I-78 and I-95. So I mean, we have lots of road crews trying to get out. I mean, all state resources are being used in New Jersey to try and get this roadway situation under control. So I mean, definitely be cognizant those traveling between Pennsylvania and New York. A lot of this commerce is being disrupted, especially because we have northern New Jersey. So I mean, definitely a very dangerous situation for those traveling on.
Yeah, you don't want to be traveling on that. You don't want to be traveling on that road. It's very dangerous.
Yeah, definitely. The pressure's falling at a lot of these sites. So I mean, a lot of that moisture that's further aloft that's sinking towards the ground. That's why we got these heavy snow bands that are pushing through. I mean, snowfall rates potentially exceeding 2 inches an hour with this particular band, and visibility is down to near zero, and probably near whiteout conditions. We've had some fairly gusty winds pushing through. So I mean,
and you
like
don't
near
want to be
blizzard conditions at times. Obviously, this isn't being anything considered a blizzard right now, because in order for like anything to be considered a blizzard by the National Weather Service, you have to have a quarter mile or less visibility and gusts over 35 miles per hour, producing blowing snow for at least 3 hours. So obviously, that's why we reference near blizzard conditions. We are still going to experience a short period that could be whiteout. So I mean, this is very dangerous. These snow bands are pushing through now. Heavy snow being observed out of Newark and out of lower Manhattan now. Okay, lower Manhattan looks like southern Bronx, much of Kings, Queens, lower Manhattan, Hudson, Richmond. A lot of these boroughs in New York City are now the lower, lower Manhattans. We're starting to get some heavy snowfall rates out of this. So I mean,
how much?
Peak wind gust is now 31. We're still like the gusts are probably around 30 miles an hour out of the northeast. So I mean, still. I mean, we could see potentially blowing snow at times. So, I mean, this is going to really be an issue for commerce.
So you definitely want to use some common sense.
Yeah, most definitely. Excuse me. I got a bad sinus thing right now. It's just I've been I've
Won't
been
be surprised
running
about
around
that.
with my work. What?
I don't be surprised. It's so cold to get a sinus infection. You know.
Yeah, I'm not having like trouble breathing or
Oh, okay, that's
I don't
good.
have a cough. It's just
We
I've
definitely
been
just
running around with packages all day, lifting stuff, and it's been putting
well,
strain on my body. So
well, the thing is, we definitely don't want anybody on the road tonight. This is a dangerous situation. I mean, Isaac, we thought this would be we thought we would be going into feed pretty quick tonight, didn't you?
well, we've been in feed since yesterday to cover
No,
some
I
of
mean,
the
emergency feed
more.
coverage. Did you thought we'll go into that today?
What?
Did did you think we would go into emergency feed coverage today?
I mean, I definitely saw it becoming a possibility that we would need to elevate the feed status, but I mean, it was definitely looking more likely that the situation would prompt an extra heightened level of awareness and things like that. And yeah, we're starting to get some, yeah, Hardy County, West Virginia, 8 inches of snow. So, I mean, this is where we've had very strong, excuse me, I mean,
Well,
a lot of
in
this
all
snow
afternoon,
for
since
like
we were on a little break earlier, I told people this, Isaac. I'm gonna add this to the stream. But this whole system is
okay.
this system is a whole different. It's a big storm system in it, right?
So, so the dynamics with this, like obviously there's a large scale upper trough, and then there's surface low pressure that's off the coast. So I mean, obviously that trailed the eastern seaboard, and then there was a broad area, there was a broad line, a cold front that draped down to Florida. That produced all that convection and that linear convection that was trailing east. I mean, that isolated storm produced a pretty strong downdraft down there. But I mean, just overall, you're looking at all the headlines. Obviously, you see all the winter storm warnings in pink. The violet, blue, dark blue colors are the winter weather advisories further inland across sections of East Ohio surrounding the winter storm warning area. I mean, you can see the tan, the light tan colors in Pennsylvania. That's where the Weather Service is highlighting very dangerous conditions with heavy snow bands that are pushing through now. And then just the dynamics and everything, you can see those storm warnings that are like you can see the gale warnings and then the storm warnings, which is winds gusts over 50 knots over much of the open Atlantic.
And I was also telling people we had the warm section today where we had the tornado warnings that did some damage too, right?
Oh, well, yeah, we've actually gotten a report of some more structural damage, I think coming out of Polk County as well. I mean, obviously we've had everything in Hillsborough and sorry, I have to look back here. Yeah, I mean, Pinellas, Polk, and Hillsborough counties all reporting structure damage from this particular cell that produced, I believe, two different tornadoes, at least two different tornadoes. One that tracked north of Tulsa, Tampa. Why did I say Tulsa? North of Tampa, near the bridge, near the airport, too. And then we also had the system produce a tornado in Polk County. Some more rural vicinities north of there, but I mean, at least 3 homes damaged. We're obviously the county's responding, emergency management.
Yeah, we just got a
more data from that
report coming in of some more sleet or something. Look here.
Okay, yeah, 5 inches of snow across Snyder and Mifflin counties in Pennsylvania. Gilkil County, Pennsylvania, 7 inches of snow. I mean, that is.
So this is like,
that wasn't as much. That was considerably lower in the last update, but now this is newer, just now coming in. 7 inches, the bulk of that falling within the past few hours. I mean, just to show how all this intense snow bands are producing the heaviest snowfall rates. I mean, I'm definitely interested to see the post storm briefing or post storm analysis from State College up to weather serve. Yeah, State College. Then I mean Mount Holly is going to have some information for us too. Oh, that's the mesoscale report from the Storm Prediction Center. I'm going to take a look at it, see if there's anything that's really considerable.
Well, like I said tonight,
I
like
mean,
me and Isaac are saying, folks, if you don't have to be out, don't be out tonight.
yeah, sure. Look at what they're saying here. Snowfall rates will increase to 2 to 3 inches per hour and continue through 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern Time from northeast Pennsylvania across the northwestern New Jersey into southern New York, the lower Hudson Valley. So you're talking snowfall rates 2 to 3 inches per hour. That's occurring over lower Manhattan, Hudson, Union, Essex, all these areas getting closer to New York. I mean, lower Manhattan is probably, just judging by the rapidly falling pressure and the gusts approaching 30, building up to 30 miles per hour. You could be talking significantly reduced visibilities with that shot of snow and potentially whiteout condition, or like a near zero visibility at times. So, I mean, definitely very unsafe travel. I mean, especially
Like
if you're in urban areas.
Common sense tonight.
Yeah, I mean, definitely you want to be using low beams and watching for snow plows and everything. And it is going to be really It's going to be a really slippery mess for you folks in New York. And I mean, the lower Hudson Valley, that band continues to push north. The Storm Prediction Center has mentioned the possibility of snow rates exceeding 2 to 3 inches per hour. And I'm going to put this in motion again, but you can see
I'll post that on Facebook.
The overall motion of the fan is slightly decreasing too. So I mean, this would mean like you'll get higher totals with this potentially dangerous snow band that's pushing through now. So I mean, you could be talking about building up to several inches just with this snow band alone, in addition to all the snow that has already fallen. So I mean, that is going to really add to the danger with this. So I mean, definitely you want to be very careful. I mean, there's probably a little bit of upscale growth too, and I mean, if there's a little bit of lift further aloft, and maybe it's slightly closer to freezing at some point further aloft, maybe some embedded sleet may also occur as well. I mean, definitely with some wet roadways potentially, they'll like that is going to make things really slick. I mean, there could be a little bit of ice as well. So I mean, you're definitely talking slippery, slick mess across much of Metro New York, like the whole Urbania that covers Long Island, northern New Jersey, central northern New Jersey. Just prepare for that, especially across southern New York and much of Connecticut, Rhode Island, and even Massachusetts. I mean, definitely under the gun for very dangerous conditions. So definitely be very careful if you.
I just post that on Facebook, but I'll show it on here on the computer if you want me to. Everybody.
Yeah.
All right, here it is. Okay, guys. Here it is. I'll switch it for you. All right, can you see it, Isaac?
Yeah, that's the mesoscale. Oh, you finally got the graphic. I wasn't able to get that, but you can see snowfall rates will increase to 2 to 3 inches per hour and persist through 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern Time. Mixed precip will overspread I-94 corridor into New York City after 04 Zulu. So I mean, you can see that warm front that is near the surface. So I mean, that means you'll get slightly warmer air a little bit further aloft too. So I mean, that'll definitely allow for some freezing rain, or whatever, mixed bag of precip to impact. And you can see the 500 millibar heights, the height lines, the blue lines there. I mean, that you can see how the dynamics with that trough, I mean, and the surface pressure gradient that's in place, just the isobars and everything on that graphic. So, I mean, that is really in depth what the Storm Prediction Center has put out. So,
How much
I
ice
mean,
are they supposed to get?
how much ice they're supposed to get? I mean, definitely a light glaze at very least. I don't know if there's going to be like an issue with like measurable ice accretion across like New York or the lower Hudson Valley, but I mean, still a light glaze of ice and all the snow and everything is definitely combination will lead to dangerous travel either way.
Yeah, it's going to make a problem. So you definitely don't want to let your guard down tonight. This is going to be a dangerous situation.
Mm-hmm. Hold on one second. Yeah, so again, just the dynamics overall support a very dangerous event for a high population area. So, I mean, widespread disruptions to commerce and everything. Mm-hmm. All right. Do you have any other information you want to share on your screen?
I'm trying to pull up any more. You see any new reports, Isaacs? Yeah, we got in reports of measurable snow 0.5. We're starting to get another one 0.5. So that's just up here where we're getting to some significant snow, right?
Yeah, potentially.
Okay, so anything else you want to share?
I mean, you can definitely tell all the local storm reports we've seen over the past hour. I mean, with those bands alone, you're seeing potentially very serious accumulations and whatnot. So you want to be very, very careful of rapidly changing conditions with this disturbance overall. So.
All right, let's see what we got. Social media reported including some sleet with this too, right over here.
Yeah, you're definitely seeing an inversion, a warmer inversion layer in there as well. So that's going to definitely lead to some sleet, freezing rain potentially mixing in there. So significant icing, definitely a concern for much of Maryland and Northern Virginia. So please take this seriously and avoid unnecessary travel.
See what we got here. Anything else coming in? You still there?
Yes.
Or we want to continue this stream, or we want to invite some other people in, or what we're going to do?
If there's no developments or anything, we could always go back on later or anything. We don't have to stay on for if no one's watching our conveyed stream or anything. So.
I'm trying to think if
I think we'll downgrade the feed status to. Well, I mean, we'll stay in level 2 for now, but I mean, we'll probably go back to level 1, then back to level 2 when we're starting to get significant developments from state highway patrols and everything again. But I mean, this is a more local scale thing right now. But we're still in a coverage period.
We still in the Popal?
You know what?
Still in Popal now?
Yeah, keep it in purple. Yeah.
So what are we going to do right now?
All right. Well, no one's really watching us right now, so we're going to end the broadcast. We'll keep the streaming window open, so you can stay on the stream. But I mean, this is USA Severe